Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan from The Candid Appetite, and we're back with another episode of a show I'm calling Recipe on Back or Recipe on the Back. I'm still working it out, okay? When the logo pops up, you'll know what it is. It's a show where we highlight different products we find at the grocery store because if you've ever noticed, almost everything has a recipe either on the back or inside. In my years of shopping, I've always seen them but have never tried them, so I thought we can do it together. Some might be good, some might be bad, but we'll find out along the way. So today's recipe on the back is from King Arthur Baking Company, which sounds very commercially now that I'm holding this bag up, but it's not sponsored. They probably aren't gonna like this, but we have this bag of flour, it's almond flour, and we're gonna be making almond flour brownies. So they're gluten-free. That's what's on the back. So let's see what it has. It has melted butter, sugar, salt, vanilla, cocoa powder, eggs, the almond flour, and then baking powder. That's it. And then I'm gonna switch it up a little because I've been doing this for so long that I feel like I have the liberty to add a few things. So I'm gonna add some chocolate chips and some walnuts to it because I like nuts in my brownies, and you can switch it out with whatever you want. So let's get started. So the first thing here, it says preheat oven to 350, which I did, it's on, as we can hear. We're gonna melt the butter first. So it's 5 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter. Skillet here, over low. Oh, wrong burner. I do that every time. Okay, so it has 1 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. Let's see. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I just use kosher salt because I use it for everything. And some people, I think, when they bake, they do the fine salt, but I don't have time for that. It's fine. 3/4 cup cocoa. Dutch processed cocoa powder. Honestly, you can just get the cheapy stuff. It doesn't matter. I also don't remember how many of these I put in. I think that's it. 3/4 cup. That seems right. That looks right. And then the eggs. So it's 3 eggs. You don't even need a mixer. You can just do it by hand, which is nice. A teaspoon of vanilla. Usually I'd eyeball it, but you know, we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Because I don't want to say, oh, it didn't turn out, or it did turn out, and then I messed up or something. You're gonna whisk it up. And the butter. We'll wait for this to cool for a little bit. And yeah, we're waiting for butter to cool. This is what you do. Okay, so we added the butter. That's what it looks like. Looks good. We're gonna now add the flour, which is the main ingredient here. 1.5 cups of almond flour. And then a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna stir that together. It's a thick batter, and if I keep mixing with the whisk, it'll be difficult and the batter is just gonna get all in there. And the best part about working with almond flour, which I love, is that it doesn't have any gluten in it, and so you don't have to worry about over mixing. Like when you use regular flour, it has so much gluten in it, and the more you stir, the more it works the gluten, that's what causes tough, dry baked goods. And with almond flour, there's no gluten, so you don't have to worry about that, which is nice. And it looks like it's gonna be a thick batter. The thicker, the better. Okay, and then we're going to add my add-ins, which this isn't part of the recipe, but again, I feel like it could benefit from it. I mean, it'd be fine without it, but like King Arthur, don't think I'm trying to say it's bad. So we're gonna add about 1 cup of chocolate chips, and I have dark chocolate chips here, but it can be whatever kind you like. And then I'm gonna do some walnuts, and I'm just gonna break them. That's the best part of this show, or I feel like will be the best part of this show, is that all these recipes are super easy. They don't have many ingredients, and they come together pretty quickly. That oven is not gonna stop. Okay, once everything is mixed, you're gonna pour it into a 8-inch pan, it says, an 8-inch square pan. And I'm lining mine with parchment paper because it'll make it easier to lift the brownies out once they cool. But I'm gonna spray it with cooking spray to ensure that it doesn't stick. It's so thick, I think I have to just spoon it in. I have noticed though with flour, with almond flour, whenever I bake with it, most of the batters are like super thick. And I think it's because of the density of the flour, because it's like it's basically ground almonds. And so like it doesn't absorb into things the way flour would. And then you spread it out as evenly as possible. And there is a note here, I think it's worth mentioning, that it says your pan, you want an 8-inch square pan, but it should be at least 2 inches deep. So, because I'm assuming the brownies just get pretty high. Looks pretty good to me. I'm sure someone was gonna say that. It's unsanitary, I'll never eat in their kitchen. But you probably won't, because I wouldn't invite you. So there we go. Looks pretty good, it tastes great. I don't think anything can go wrong with it. Famous last words. Okay, so they go in for 33 minutes. But my oven, even though it's a new oven, I've noticed that sometimes it runs a little hotter than it says. So I always, whenever I bake, I'll do about 2 minutes less than the time, and then I'll kind of check it after that, because it's easier to keep cooking it, obviously, and then if it goes over, it's done. Okay, we're back. Brownies, they're done. They're slightly warm still, which is the way I like my brownie, but they're ready to come out and they're ready to be sliced. So this is why we put the parchment piece, because it makes it easier to take it out of the pan. So let's take it out. They smell really good, I will say. Right off the bat, they seem very dense, but I think that's from the flour, from the almond flour. I'm gonna cut them into smaller squares. Okay, maybe they're slightly undercooked. Just no, they look good. Look, you know what I think it is that it's part undercooked, but also there's a lot of chocolate chips in here, and so the chocolate chips, they've melted. These are the brownies. They look good, right? Look, right?
Yeah.
Why do you say it that way? I undercooked them slightly, but that's fine. Right? Anyhow.
I'd be scared because it's undercooked.
Nothing's gonna happen to me. They're slightly undercooked, it's fine. Anyhow, I don't think they're undercooked. I think that if I had cooked it longer, they would have been dry. I actually think they're delicious. I like it a lot. I do like it a lot. Amazing, you know? I decided that we're gonna be grading the system. We're gonna be grading, listen, brownies are a little undercooked, but that's okay. I decided that on each episode I'm gonna rate the recipes, obviously, as I mentioned in the first episode, but then I thought it'd be funnier to involve Napoleon, so we're gonna be grading this on how many Napoleons this recipe is. The higher the Napoleon, the better the recipe. The least Napoleon, not so good. But this one I would say a 5 or a 6. We'll split it down the middle and say a 5.5. They said bake it in an 8-inch pan. I feel like they're too thick. I think it needed like a 9 or a 10-inch, to be honest. That's one thing why I lost a couple Napoleons, but the other thing is because a personal preference, I'm not big on almond flour desserts as much. That's why I'm rating at that. But all in all, it's a good recipe. I should also establish that I'm not a big fan of brownies. So here we are. Make it. You should make this recipe. You know, you would like it. Thank you for watching. Come back again. See what else we're gonna make. And if you have any recipes on the back that you love, that you've tried before, send them in so I can know about it. And then I'll make it. Just maybe I might, if it's good enough.